DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, and the Alabama football coaching staff, they're like the cell phone Nextel. They're getting it done on the recruiting trail. With that being said, you're rocking and rolling right now. Hottest show on the streets. Talking your Bama football news on a Monday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Happy to have you guys in here. We bring you the show from the Magic City of Birmingham. We stream this to you through YouTube. And speaking of a channel, you know what time it is. Go ahead right now. You hit that subscribe button. You smash the subscribe button right now. You hit the like button as well. You get all your friends, family members, diehard Bama fans, casual Bama fans, consumers of Tide football to subscribe as well. Hit that thumbs up, hit the like button, get those like levels up. We appreciate that from you guys. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. Daily Super Chat Go, $100. We appreciate the love from all of you. We got a jam-packed one coming to you today, and we want you being a part of the show. You can do this by calling 205-448-1358 for number to call in to get your voice be made known. 205-448-1358. And one more time, 205-448-1358. Want to hear from you. Eli, we're almost in July, baby. You know what that means. SEC Football Media Days right around the corner. Dallas, Texas, the Omni Hotel. The team here at TDA, we will be there. But we're getting the topic number one here, folks, of the conversation. That is, there's a reason behind, a significant reason behind the success that Kalen DeBoer, his staff, and the University of Alabama are having here on the recruiting trail. And Alabama's athletics director, Greg Byrne, he kind of took us behind the curtain of the success during an interview with Roger Hoover of Crimson Tide Sports Network. And Byrne discussed arguably the biggest reason, or unarguably the biggest reason why Alabama has struck iron hot in recruiting. As elite as Coach Saban was as a recruiter, Saban did not strike the iron this hot as DeBoer's doing. Like DeBoer is cooking with Crisco, vegetable oil, shortening, whatever he cooking with, fish grease. I don't care what it is. DeBoer cooking with something. This iron is hot. He didn't struck. As good as Saban was, and Saban was dynamic. Don't get me wrong. But DeBoer working with something a little bit different. You look at this 2025 class, Eli. So many sites out there, including ours, Touchdown Alabama, our guy Justin Smith, who does an unbelievable job. Bama's got the number, 2 class in the nation right now. They got the number 1 class in the SEC right now. And that's not to mention, over half of these coaches, including Kalen DeBoer, haven't coached a game yet for Alabama. So that tells you a lot right there. These kids, these athletes are digging the vibe, the flow, the energy. Whatever Kalen DeBoer and company is selling these kids, they buying it. Hook, line, sinker. They're buying it. And so Greg Byrne talked about today the biggest reason behind the success DeBoer is having in recruiting. And Byrne mentioned the partnership of the Sabans. We're talking Nick Saban, his wife, Miss Terry, and the partnership of the DeBoers, Kalen DeBoer and his wife, Nicole, have meshed so well together that it's brought dividends for the program. The partnership between Saban and DeBoer have been huge. Nick Saban and Miss Terry have done nothing but flat out support Kalen DeBoer. They've been there for him. They've been all in. What do we need to do to make sure we're helping provide to you the best success possible for you as you start the campaign as the next Alabama head football coach? Like, Saban and Miss Terry have opened up the door for Coach DeBoer to, what do you need from us? Like, what do you need from us to make sure this thing is going to continue to be dominant in Tuscaloosa. It's almost on a bigger level of Eli. Remember when Nick Saban got here in 2007, and it was Paul Bear Bryant's family that opened their door to Saban, and they were like, Coach, what do we need to do to see this team, this program get back to being at national prominence, at national dominance, winning national championships? Like, what do we need to do to help that? And the family of Paul Bryant did that. I look at that here. Nick Saban, Miss Terry, Coach DeBoer, what do we need to do to help you in your transition make this program in year one under your jurisdiction a national championship team? I mean, Greg Byrne talked about it. The partnership of both has the program as healthy as it's ever been. The players are all in. The coaches are all in. The fans are all in. Like, we're seeing what's happening on the recruiting circuit. Bama is still Bama, even without Nick Saban as the head coach. And yes, he's still around. Absolutely. But even without Nick Saban as the head coach, Bama is still Bama. And part of that is the help that Saban is giving DeBoer. I mean, this is awesome. Hearing Greg Byrne talk about this, pretty darn cool, if you ask me. Now, you got DeBoer and Courtney Morgan. These two are cooking on the recruiting show. Cooking. Alabama's got 3 massive offensive linemen committed. You talk Micah DeBose, Michael Carroll, Mal Waldrip. Bama is building this thing from the offensive and defensive line on out the way it should be built. And there are more guys in the coming days down the pipeline that are going to commit. You got Dijon Lee Jr. out there a corner. You got the Cunningham kid, a wide receiver. You got a Kalen Deere, a running back. I mean, you got guys down the pipeline. We're trying to see who's going to be the next to commit right now, because this is iron hot. Kagan DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, this staff, what a job. What a job right now. And the fact that you have the Saban family doing everything they can to assist Coach DeBoer to make sure that this transition is smooth, you gotta love it. You gotta love it. We're going to take our first break here on the show. Don't touch that dial. We're just getting your chest warm on a Monday. When we get back, we go to the phone lines. We're going to grab your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. People, line us up. We want to hear from all of you right after this.
TDA Plus is the all-new Ultimate Alabama Football Package, perfect for any Alabama football fan. Not only do you get subscriber-only articles where you can stay up to date on everything that's going on with Alabama football, you also get our brand new video hub that features many podcasts and shows, including Steven's Report with Stephen M. Smith. With over 15 years of covering Alabama football, you get trusted information as Stephen goes in person to see the team come back and break down to you what he saw live in person. You also get the Way It Is podcast with Stephen M. Smith, where he tells never-heard-before stories and crazy situations that happened during his 15-year tenure of covering Alabama football. You also get Justin and Dex, where they break down recruits like you've never seen it before, with exclusive behind-the-scenes information and exclusive interviews with recruits. You also get Justin's Recruiting Bites with Justin Smith, where you get the best up-close and personal recruiting information and even talks to you while he's on the road going to recruiting events. Alabama fans, you don't want to miss this huge offer for a jam-packed experience for only $7.95 per month. Visit touchdownalabama.com and become a TDA Plus member today.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, we're back into the action from the break, rocking and rolling of a #1 ticket for Bama Football news in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Happy to have you guys in here. Phone lines open. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang, 205-448-1358. The number to call in to let your voice be made known, 205-448-1358. You are live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name and where you calling from. Doing good, Corey. Doing good. Just excited about what Kagan DeBoer and this staff has been able to do on this recruiting trail. It's been fantastic.
You know, it's always key to lock down your home state, and Kagan DeBoer has done that very well. I mean, got a commitment from Viger, and then this state is loaded with talent, and I think he can get some more. And then not just that, but you have to recruit the Southeast, and Georgia, Florida, Louisiana, Texas is loaded with talent. He's done an excellent job there. And people said, well, he can't recruit the South because he's not from the South. Well, look what he's doing now. He is stockpiling this Alabama team with talent, and I wouldn't be surprised if we have the number one recruiting class by the time December rolls around. I mean, I know Ohio State sits at the top, but if we grab a couple of 5 stars, and some more 4 stars, I wouldn't be surprised if we have the number one class.
I mean, what's impressed me, Corey, is, and I talked about this, when Kagan DeBoer put this coaching staff together, and he did it quite quickly, my thought process was, if he gets himself around some coaches that know the South and that know the Southeast region, he's gonna be okay. And Kagan DeBoer has put himself around coaches that know the Southeast region. Getting Kane Womack, huge. Getting Coach Mo Linguist, huge. Keeping Freddie Roach and Robert Gillespie, huge. Getting guys like, we're bringing in a guy like Jamarcus Shepard, who he and his family originally from Uniontown, Alabama, huge. So what Kagan DeBoer has done, he's not only submerged himself into the culture of the South and the Southeast region, but he has put himself around coaches that get recruiting in this neck of the woods, and it's been an outstanding job on his part.
Well, I agree. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better start in the recruiting trail now. We just hope that all these players sign on the dotted line when December comes, because you never know what can happen if a player changes his mind, but he's off to a really good start. And let me ask you this. What are our needs? Because I don't keep it with it completely, but do you know what our needs mainly are?
Well, right now, I know in recruiting, Alabama's focusing on the offensive and defensive lines right now. They've gotten a couple of defensive backs, which that's always a need when you're graduating DBs to the NFL draft every year. I think a need possibly may be at linebacker. I know Alabama's looking at that position pretty hard there. When you look at after this season, Deontay Lawson could go pro. Jihad Campbell, if he has a spectacular year, does he go pro? You have to think about that. So linebacker in particular, is a need there. And then maybe athletic tight end. You haven't quite had that athletic tight end in quite some time, and a guy that stuck around, with the program. C.J. Dupree could have a really big year this year. You still have Danny Lewis Jr., but maybe one more athletic tight end could be a need there as well.
Yeah, I agree. I think that we locked up the quarterback position, and then, like you said, you never can have too many offensive or defensive linemen, and then the DBs go into the draft. So I don't know. Is it true that each year the numbers fluctuate of how many you can take?
Yeah, the numbers do fluctuate there, Corey. Of course, you want to have the 85-man scholarship roster. So in recruiting, especially when you look at transfer portal recruiting, along with recruiting the incoming freshmen each year, you only have a number of scholarships that you're giving out. And, of course, most coaches want to keep the majority of those scholarships for the incoming freshmen. But, of course, they save, a few in the back pocket for if there's just a guy in the transfer portal that they just got to have. But the numbers do fluctuate each year.
Going into fall camp, I know this is a different subject here, but when fall camp rolls around, what is the number one position battle you're looking to settle that will maybe ease some growing pains in a way going forward?
I actually, Corey, I actually have two, and so they're on each side of the ball here. So number one, I'm looking forward to who takes the other cornerback spot opposite Damani Jackson. You think Damani Jackson, the transfer from USC, he will anchor down one spot. Who takes the other spot opposite him? And then flipping over here to the other side of the football, I'm looking at that right tackle position. Can Wilkenform hold on to that spot? Right, because you've got Elijah Pritchett with experience. You got N'Keal Betran, a transfer from Texas A&M. You got Miles McVay. But Wilkenform had a very good spring. The guy has got his body right, has got down what he needs to do in terms of the pass protection, run blocking capability under Coach Chris Kaplovich. The main thing for me is, can Wilkenform hold down that right tackle spot there? So I would look at the other corner opposite Damani Jackson, and then can Wilkenform hold serve at right tackle?
Yeah, the last thing we need is a revolving door at right tackle, because all the other four spots are pretty much set. And then with the other cornerback position, if you can get somebody to lock down the other side, we'll have a good lockdown, kind of like we had last year, and it'll make things better for the secondary. Because if you can have a front seven that can create pressure, it'll make the two corners not have to stress as much and could have really good seasons.
Absolutely. So that's going to be my thing there, Corey. You look at who mans down the other cornerback spot opposite Damani Jackson. And can Wilkenform hold on to that right tackle position there? Appreciate Corey from Trustful for that call there on a Monday, 205-448-1358. And I'm going to call in to let your voice be made known on the show, 205-448-1358. We definitely want to hear from you guys. But we got a cool call topic here, Eli, as Alabama offensive lineman on the recruiting trail. It ain't stopping. Micah DeBose, 4-star from Viger High School near the Mobile area, gave his yes to the University of Alabama commitment-wise. DeBose joins Michael Carroll, Mal Waldrip in terms of offensive linemen. Chris Kaplovich doing his job, landing these big men on the offensive line. And what I like about these guys, Eli, they're not uber big, right? These guys are 285, 290, 315. That's kind of where you want them at the biggest, 330. I mean, we tried last year. Bama tried having the 360 and 70-pound offensive lineman. No. Let's not do that again. 330, biggest, 315, big but not on their feet. Can move, athletic, can get out there and block, can make some things happen, right? So this is big here. Alabama landing one, Micah DeBose, offensive lineman there on the recruiting trip. We're going to take a break right here, folks. We'll touch that dial. When we get back, we get into a conversation on one, Jihad Campbell and this Alabama defense. This group, it's got something to prove again. It's got that attitude in their eye. We'll talk about it after this. We're out here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa. Oh, yeah, this. Oh, man. Gotta get this. Gotta get one of these right here. Can't rock that Bama without this shirt right here, fresh polo. You gotta also rock the all pink, like Kanye West right there. Keychains, gotta get you some keychains. University of Alabama keychains. I'm telling you, if you are a die-hard Alabama fan and you're looking for some big-time apparel, this place has got everything. We're talking shirts, shoes, sweatshirts, hoodies, cups, mugs, keychains. If you're just a Tide fan that has an itch to get more apparel, get more swag in your game, you come right here at Alumni Hall in Tuscaloosa, right here in Midtown Village. And also you can shop online. The link is in the description to get your gear right here at Alumni Hall.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, Bama Nation, we're popping the clutch, baby, riding back into you after from the break here. Number one show for Bama football news, in my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Got my man Eli Walker in the production studio. You guys continue smashing the like button. Hit that thumbs up. Show us love right there on the show. Get those like levels up right there. Hit that subscribe button as well. Make this short show talking all things Bama. That daily Super Chat Go, $100. Daily Super Chat Go, $100 right there. We appreciate that coming from all of you. But topic 2 Eli conversation. This Alabama defense, it's got that look in its eye again. It's got that big, lank energy, but that's something, we got something to prove energy going on right now. And Jihad Campbell, veteran inside linebacker, spoke about this. He mentioned how, this team is all in on one goal, that's winning a national championship. This defense is all in on one goal, that's winning a national championship. You got Kane Womack in here. Alabama had monster success with Kirby Smart and Jeremy Pruitt. And then you have the PG experience, which that was pretty bad, real bad right there. And then Kevin Steele comes in one season, does what he was supposed to do, get the engine revved back to being a feared defensive group again. And now here's Kane Womack coming in with this 4-2-5 swarm defense here. And trying to have this group play with its hair on fire, toughness, commitment, energy, effort, fierceness, having opposing offenses afraid for their life. So Jihad Campbell this past season, 66 tackles, had 4 of those for loss, 3 pass breakups, 3 quarterback hurries, an interception, fumble return for a touchdown versus Tennessee. Here's a young man that understands, hey, Bama's about championships. This is a winning culture, a winning program, a defense that wants to get after you, right? And so he thoroughly gets it that this year, the offense is going to be dynamic. We all expect that. But what's more so expected is, can this Alabama defense get back to whooping up on some folks? Can Alabama's defense get back to knocking people's block off? Can Alabama's defense get back to scaring the living daylights out of people? Can Alabama's defense get back to really just harassing quarterbacks, running backs, and having defensive coordinators saying, I quit and leaving the stadium? Can Alabama's defense get back to doing that? I think this year's group has that look in its eye of wanting to be dominant again, wanting to be elite again, wanting to be full-on respected again. I like this. I like the team bonding that everybody's been doing this offseason, especially on defense. I like the different guys that have started to come together and gel and form these relationships. I like that. But most importantly, I like the coaching that the defensive staff has put on these guys. And that's Freddie Roach, that's Bolin Gwist, that's Kylan Hitzler, that's Christian Robinson, that's all these guys. Kane Womack, they're putting a lot here on this defense. Deontay Lawson and Jahad Campbell could be the best inside linebacker duo in college football. They have a shot to do that. With Lawson in the middle, Campbell has the sting, shoot the gap, lateral quickness, sideline to sideline linebacker. Yeah, baby. They got a shot to do that this season. So, definitely looking forward to that. Pumped up to see what this defense does here, starting off in fall camp. Coming up in August, we're almost there. We're getting to the month of July. June. Almost done with it. We're going to take another break here, folks, in the show. Don't touch that dial, people. When we get back, we return to those phone lines. We're grabbing your calls, your thoughts, your conversations. We want to hear from you. Bring us your energy, your enthusiasm right after this.
Every sports fan deserves the proper representation. Whitwell Sports introduces to you the Title Towel. Wave that Title Towel in the air like you just don't care in support of Nick Saban and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Only $9.99 and it lasts a lifetime. Head on over to whitwellsports.com and get your Title Towel today.
This is Chris Rogers, 2009 national champion. You are listening to the baddest, when I say the baddest, sports show in the state of Alabama. In my own words, yours truly, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Don't touch that dial.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
All right, people, we're back locked and loaded to the action here from the break. Number one ticket for Bama football news on a Monday. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of TDA. Phone lines open. Call segment brought to you by the Blue Wrench Gang. 205-448-1358. The number to call in, 205-448-1358. You are live on the show. What's happening, how we feel, and state your name. And, well, apparently I thought we had a call there. We do not have a call there. But you guys continue to call in. Get your thoughts here on the show, 205-448-1358. We definitely want to hear from all of you. But as you're getting your thoughts here prepared to call into the action, cool call topic here, Eli, as Alabama football had its media day, photo shoot, video shoot, and Jalen Milroe released his photo on today, and QB1's ready. He's now Sleeve Milroe, rocking the sleeve there on his, that's his right shoulder, right arm, left arm. Left arm, he's rocking the sleeve there on his left arm, but Sleeve Milroe's undefeated. Eli, Sleeve Milroe's undefeated. Now, I don't know why he did not wear the sleeve in the Rose Bowl against Michigan. Now, my man would have worn that sleeve in that game. Probably could have had a different outcome. But that's a different story for a different day. Got the players here taking their photos, media shooting for, the media day. Quite a few of these players with number changes. We talked about that. Kendrick Law going from number 19 to number 1. Emmanuel Henderson going from 24 to 3. James Smith going from 47 to 23. We've seen some number changes here in terms of Alabama. Quay Russaw has gone from 49 to 4. He's now number 4. So we've seen quite a few number changes this offseason. You look at Alabama football, but we got number 4 right here offensively. One, Jalen Milroe. He's looking to lead Alabama to a national title in this upcoming fall. But we take our final break here, folks, in the show. We'll touch that down when we get back. We wrap things up with this conversation. Could Bama finish with the number one recruiting class when it's all said and done for 2025? It'll be interesting to see. They're on a roll right now. We'll talk about it after this.
I'm Malachi Moore, and you're watching In My Own Words with Stephen M. Smith on Touchdown Alabama YouTube channel.
Thank you for tuning in. Show your support right now by clicking that like button. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button now and enable all notifications to make sure you don't ever miss any of the best Alabama football news, notes, and information right here on Touchdown Alabama.
What's going on? This is Benny Bice. I'm the founder and owner of Touchdown Alabama. And you guys are supporting one of the only independent outlets covering Alabama football today. No other sports, no networks, just Alabama football. Roll Tide Roll.
All right, people, here we go. We're back locked and loaded to the action from the break. Number one ticket here for your Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine. My man Eli Walker right here in the production studio. Continue smashing the subscribe button, tapping the like button, making this your show, your spot here for all things Bama football. We appreciate that. But Eli, final topic of discussion here, a final conversation discussion. Can Alabama finish this 2025 recruiting cycle with the number one class in the country? Right now, Alabama's on a roll. I think it's got, 18 commitments, 19 commitments, one of the two. Got several offensive linemen, some defensive linemen, some receivers, some defensive backs, some athletes. Got guys committed, right? So right now, Alabama's number 2 nationally, number 1 in the SEC. Can it finish with the number 1 class? And you got some guys coming up down the pipeline. I mentioned some guys, Deshaun Lee Jr., the Cunningham kid, wide receiver, Keelan Deere, running back. You got just several dudes, defensive and offensive. You got Justice Terry for defensive line. You got a lot of guys here. A lot of guys here. Can Alabama finish number 1? Now, of course, they could, oh yeah, Dawson Merritt. Thank you, Eli. You got Dawson Merritt and Caleb Cunningham. So you got dudes, right? You got dudes. Now you have to ask yourself here, how many 5 stars does Bama need to pick up here in these next few commitments to put itself number 1? Does it have to be 3, 4, 5? Like, how many does Bama need to pick up in order to have a number 1 class? Because Georgia is going to pick up the steam. Ohio State definitely going to pick up the steam. So Alabama needs to be right there, if not right there, looking to leapfrog both of them, right? Because Kirby's not going to slack up. You need to know Ryan Day's not going to slack up. Also, Eli, great point. There is a rumor going around that Keelan Russell may earn his 5th star. And I think Keelan's going to get that just based off of you win the Elite 11, you're the MVP, right? You play in the hardest region of high school football, that being Texas, Duncanville, Texas. And plus, he's committed to the University of Alabama. I think Russell's going to get that 5th star. No question about it. I think he's going to get that 5th star. But with the success that Kagan DeBoer, Courtney Morgan, and the staff is on, does Alabama finish with the number 1 class in the country? Me personally, Eli, as long as Bama finishes in the top 3. If you're in the top 3, it just comes down to what coaching, right? If you're in the top 3, all it comes down to is coaching and developing and getting the best out of your guys. But if it can end up with the number 1 class in the first year of Kagan DeBoer, insane, right? Insane. I was talking to a guy a couple days ago. He says this class right here has the making to be the catalyst for King and DeBoer, just like the 08 class was the catalyst for Nick Saban. Big talk right there. Because we know who all came in that 08 class. Mark Ingram in that class. Dunta Hightower in that class. Courtney Upshaw in that class. Julio Jones in that class. A lot of guys came in that 08 class. Terrence Cody came in that class. JUCO. A lot of guys came in that class to set the standard for what Alabama football has become now. Mark Barron came in that class. I think Robert Lester was in that class. I want to say Robert Lester was in that class. So I'm just saying, when you look at this 2025 cycle for Alabama, it has a shot to finish at number 1. Can DeBoer and company keep its foot on the gas? Can DeBoer and company keep its foot on people's necks? Can he do it? Can DeBoer and the rest of this staff keep their foot on everybody else's neck right now? If he can do this, it's going to end up being the number 1 class. But right now, I am just in awe of the work that this staff has put together thus far in terms of this recruiting cycle. But, folks, as always, you want the best in news, notes, information, coverage, entertainment on your favorite program, that being the Alabama Crimson Tide. You can get this by accessing the Touchdown Alabama magazine app. You download the app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone for your audio needs. Check us out, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We got you covered right there. Good and gracious Lord sees fit. I'll try to be back on Wednesday, continuing the conversation. It's Tide football. Bama fans, remember to subscribe to TouchdownAlabama.com. Get that subscription today. TouchdownAlabama.com. Even in the summer, we got you. Freshman recruiting, transfer portal recruiting, what's going on with the current team, the coaching staff, we got you right there. How Alabama could be looking in summer workouts, we got you right there. Bama in the NFL, we got you right there. All things Bama at the palm of your hands. TouchdownAlabama.com. Get that subscription today. Also subscribe to TDA Plus for all of your video content. We're rolling it out there for you. No excuse for you not to have all things Bama right there for you. We appreciate you guys. Gotta give a shout out to my man Eli Walker in the production studio holding things down, and also to you, the Bama fans, for the phone calls, for the YouTube chatting, you making this your spot, your show for all things Bama football. Till next time, folks, husbands, love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, continue doing the right thing, fun thing, smart thing, good thing, legitimate thing, too. Not be bored. There's you getting yourself through the summer. Get yourself those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. You protect yourself. You protect the loved ones around you. Till next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen Smith, and you've been listening to In My Own Words.